Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our regularly scheduled City Council meeting for November 15th. This is the Indio City Council and the Indio Water Authority joint meeting. We will start with call to order and a roll call, or if City Clerk wants to just mark all members present. Is Mayor Ortiz going to join us now or later?
Later.
Later, okay. So with the exception of Mayor Ortiz, all are present?
That's correct, Mayor.
Okay. Now is the time for public comment. If any member of the audience wishes to address the body, please step forward at this time. This is for public comment for items not on the agenda. Seeing no one step forward, we will close the public comment and adjourn to closed session to consider two items. City Attorney, do you want me to read them, or how do you want me to proceed?
Mayor Pro Tem, they're identified on the agenda. No reason, no need to read them. We can just adjourn to closed session.
Thank you. Adjourn to closed session.
There we go.
Mic check. 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 Mic check.
If everyone would please take their seats, we're going to get started. It's just a few seconds before 4 o'clock. This is the Indio City Council and Indio Water Authority joint meeting for Wednesday, November 15th. My name is Lupe Ramos-Amit. I'm the Mayor Pro Tem, and I'll be acting as mayor this evening. We will start with a call to order and roll call. Please, City Clerk.
Councilmember Furman.
Present.
Councilmember Holmes.
Present.
Councilmember Miller.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Ramos-Amit.
Present.
And Mayor Ortiz.
Present.
Present for the meeting this evening, and we'll move on to item number 2, invocation. We have a guest this evening from Garden Fellowship Church, Pastor Jason Duff, if he would lead us in the invocation.
Lord, once again, I want to thank you for the city of Indio, for your blessing upon it. I want to thank you for the city council, and I pray your blessing upon them. Your blessing upon our mayor, your blessing upon each of these council members, your blessing upon, Lord, our police department, our fire department, our city manager. And may you give each of these men and women the wisdom to run our city in the way that you determine. So we pray blessing upon this meeting and blessing upon this city. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Duff. At this time, I'd like to invite up to the podium a very special guest from Kennedy Elementary School. We have Jesse Ramirez Diaz. He is a 5th grader, and Jesse is an outstanding student at Kennedy Elementary. Jesse is described by every teacher who knows him as a pleasure to have in class. He is always positive, helpful, and gets along with his peers. Jesse always works to the best of his ability and does quality work. He goes out of his way to help others and to make Kennedy a better place for everyone. The team at Kennedy looks forward to seeing all of the good Jesse can do for the city and for our community. And with that, I'll let you get started.
Right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Thank you, Jesse. Jesse, we have a present for you if you'll come back. Oh, you got it already. Okay, your mommy has it.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Wow.
All right, moving on to our next item. We have a city attorney report on closed session.
Thank you, Mayor. We have no items to report on closed session. However, I did want to note, because Mayor Ortiz is remoting in, we do need to get on the record his just cause reason for zooming in today.
Thank you, City Attorney. Moving on to item number 5.
Mayor Ortiz, if you could give a short explanation as to the just cause for your appearing remotely today.
Sure. I just had an exposure at my other job to someone with COVID yesterday, so HR department said it would be best if I attended remotely for today's meeting.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll enter that into the record.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor and City Attorney. Moving on to item number 5, presentations. This evening we have a very special proclamation to a gentleman who has left a very large footprint in our community. Dr. Reynaldo J. Carreon, who was born November 24th, 1900. And there's someone here representing the Carreon Foundation who will be receiving the proclamation, but more importantly, sharing with us the good work of Dr. Carreon. Hello, gentlemen. Let's go up in front of the dais there, where we can take a look at this beauty here. We have a very special proclamation, and I hope that you find a very special home for this. Mr. Carreon, as I mentioned, was someone that everyone has a connection to, at least all of us that were here from the beginning of time. So whereas Dr. Reynaldo J. Carreon was born in Texas on November 23, 1900, to Mexican parents, and was told at an early age that he could not succeed in life because he was a Mexican and he was poor. And whereas he decided he was going to defy all odds and do whatever to have it a good career and help others. So as a teenager, he went to California, got a job in Los Angeles optometry shop, and fell in love with eye care, and worked his way through college and med school, became a doctor of ophthalmology, and established a very successful eye care practice in Los Angeles. And whereas in the mid-1900s, he heard of the plight of poor immigrant farm workers in the Coachella Valley, began coming out to the valley to help with medical needs, and fell in love with the area, and decided to relocate to Indio in the 1940s. And whereas in his career journey he served 4 times as president of the Los Angeles Police Commission, was appointed by President Eisenhower to be roving ambassador for Latin America, and received numerous awards for his philanthropic, from civic, academic, entertainment, and other sectors of the community. And whereas in the city of Indio alone, he donated land he owned to African Americans so they could establish themselves in the community, started a hospital in 1966, which is now known as JFK Hospital, also on the land he donated land for several parks in the city as well. And whereas his lifelong love for helping youth with education guided him to establish numerous education endowments, including one which is thriving today, the Dr. Carreon Foundation. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, on behalf of the Mayor Oscar Ortiz of the City of Indio, along with the Indio City Council, do hereby recognize and celebrate Dr. Reynaldo J. Carreon on this day and his birthday on November 23rd, 2023. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
Thank you.
Would you like to share a few words about the legacy?
Well, it sounds like he did a lot. So he did a lot for this community. Anything you want to say? This is our Executive Director, Ricardo Loretta.
Well, the more that we find out what this fine man did, the more we appreciate him, and he just sets a very good example for all the rest of us. But the best thing that that he left us with is a love of helping youngsters further their careers through education, and that's something that all of us connected with the foundation love to do.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here this evening. I think someone wants to take a photo, and then we'll wrap it up. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We also wanted to thank the city for the kind grants that we've received.
Oh, keep coming. We enjoy supporting your organization.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thanks for your help.
All right, our next presentation is Desert Theater Works. We have Mr. Ron Phillips giving us an update. Is he in the house? Thought we just got an update not too long ago. No? Next time, all right. Moving on to item number 6, City Manager Reports and Information. City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Just as a reminder of our Food Truck Fridays and Farmers Market continuing to go and with great success as we continue to have more folks show up and participate and enjoy those activities. And even larger is our barbecue festival for this Saturday at the golf course up on Avenue 42 in Jackson, the Lights. That will start at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Free event to enter and enjoy good music and good food. So we look forward to a successful barbecue festival. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager. Item number 7, Youth Advisory Council. We have some of our members here today, and Citali Navidad is going to give the report this evening.
Good evening, City Council members and townspeople. My name is Citlali Natividad, and I'm a senior at Shadow Hills High School. This year, I hold the position of the Indio Youth Advisory Council's publicist. So we would like to report that we are currently still fundraising for our council by selling tickets to the Firebirds game on Saturday, December 16th. We plan on having all of our tickets sold by November 24th, and the funds raised will go towards a leadership conference where we can have the opportunity to enrich our leadership skills and grow stronger as a group. We also would like to let you know that we're currently working with Friday Night Live on a blanket drive, and we're accepting blanket donations that will go towards families in need in Oasis, Mecca, and Riverside. You can drop off new blankets at the Indio Teen Center from now until December 12th. And with that, I conclude my report. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you for your work, and thank you all for being here this evening. Item number 8, report on City Council external and internal boards and commissions and committee meetings. Councilmember Holmes, would you like to start?
Absolutely. So I didn't have any commission meetings, but 2 items of note. On November 4th, we had a huge cleanup in our city, particularly on the northeast and north-south end. We cover Jackson Street, north of Dillon, Davis Sports Complex, South Jackson Park, Yucca Park, Rite Aid on Avenue 48. We painted railings. We painted, covers, pathway covers. We painted more paint than I've ever seen in my life. We picked up trash. We made this city beautiful. We had, and I really want to thank the 75 or 80 young men and women from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They came, they worked so hard, and really had a huge impact on our community. The other thing, State of the City, was we attended. Mayor Oscar Ortiz did a great job with the State of the City, heard lots of positive comments, and it's always a great opportunity for us to look at what we're doing, what's in process, and what the future holds. That is my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Furman?
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I did have a couple of boards. Start off with my Public Safety Commission. During the commission, we had an update on local multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plans. As you know, we just had our Hurricane Hillary, so the county's plan is 2023 plan covers 5-year period, and it provides goals and mitigation strategies for the top 10 hazards and risks, such as earthquakes, pandemics, wildfires, electrical failures, emergent disease and contamination, cyber attacks, terrorist event, communication failure, flooding, and civil disorder. So as many of you know, our 911 number had went down last week, and things like this covers that. And so it's always great to have a plan in place. As you know, we had our backup with our regular number, but these things are very important. During the meeting, we also had training and preparation for elected officials for tropical storms, which is very important because we're not used to tropical storms here, but we might have earthquakes or other natural disasters, or maybe electrical issues. So it's important for elected officials, for us to know our roles in dealing with staff and our first responders and our incident commanders. Being that I wear 2 different hats as a correctional officer and as a council member, I've been in situations as an officer where I'm boots on the ground and I have to respond to certain incidents. And being an officer, I might have to make lunches or cook food if I have to during an emergency. But as a council member, sometimes we have to step back and make decisions, and we all have a role. And that's what this training was about. And if you came to the city during Hurricane Hillary, when we were in preparation doing sandbags, you've seen a lot of that. Our council members, we were all engaged, but throughout the whole valley, you've seen some council members doing bags, some directing traffic, some providing lunches. And so it was actually amazing to see the collaborative effort in our valley when we responded to that incident. So it was very good training. And once I get the slides, I'll share with the rest of the council so we can have that as well. And also during the Public Safety Committee, I shared some numbers from our flock cameras that we received from our police chief. And I think it's very important that we share this with the community so we can see how effective these cameras are in helping mitigate crime and also solve crime in our community. And to share some, we've had over 18 stolen vehicle recoveries. We had 3 homicide investigative leads and/or arrests. We had 1 hit and run investigation solved. We had a critical missing investigation and recovery, 1 solved, and we had 5 other robbery and investigative leads, and that's just from our flock cameras. So that's something that I support, and looking forward to solving more crimes and keeping our community safe with that. I also had a homelessness committee meeting, and we're able to take a look at the new outreach vehicle from CVAG, that they go out and serve our CV200. And for folks who don't know, our CV200 are 200 individuals on the list that are our most contacted folks who we've have met on the streets, and we try to find them housing. So we do have a vehicle now that's going out and serving the community as an outreach vehicle through CVAG. I had attended some activities as well. I want to say again, happy Veterans Day. I don't believe it's never too early or too late to celebrate our veterans. We just had Veterans Day weekend pass, and I attended an event in Cathedral City called the Field of Valor. And I'd like to thank Sunshine and Angel Herrera for having me at that event in the city of Cathedral City, and all of our first responders who were present. And just thank our veterans for taking that step forward and providing us with those freedoms and liberties that we do have. I also attended a ribbon cutting at Cork and Fork here in Indio. It was a great event that was put on by the Chamber. That's one of our new sit-down restaurants here in the city of Indio. My daughter's favorite was the grand opening of Handel's Ice Cream. And so a lot of us had Handel's Ice Cream. And I also want to thank Handel's for giving out a lot of gift certificates to our students. There were a lot of kids who were able to go and get some free ice cream. So that's in North Indio, so that was actually really great. Councilmember already mentioned the state of the city. Excellent. We thank Fantasy Springs Casino for being a host, as well as the Chamber. Another great event. Indio has the best. So another great one. Great job, Mayor Ortiz. I also attended a community forum by our Senator Stephen Padilla, who was here at the Indio Community Center. And he spoke on an array of topics, but you know, I asked him specifically about his plan in regards to fentanyl and mental illness in our communities. And so he tackled an array of issues such as salt and sea and water issues, electricity. So I'm looking forward to continue to working with him since he's new to our community. Today we also attended the Palm Desert Chamber of Commerce Peace Officer and Public Safety luncheon today in Palm Desert. So actually in Rancho Mirage at Agua Caliente Casino, so that was great. And I want to say congratulations to our Indio Police Department Officer of the Year, Kevin Bellman, and our Firefighter of the Year from Station 87, David Fessemeyer. And that completes my report. That's a long one, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Miller.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. All my committees were dark, but I did attend a few events. The State of the City, I want to say congratulations, Mayor, for a great State of the City, but also our staff, the Chamber of Commerce and Fantasy Springs, for continuing to host us. They've been great supporters of the city on a continual basis, and we thank them for their support. I also was able to go to the Agua Caliente, their cultural museum, the grand opening of it. If you haven't seen the new cultural center in Palm Springs, what a beautiful and well-done museum, a great addition to the Coachella Valley. I mean, I don't think a lot of people realize the culture of the Agua Caliente tribe, and they put it from the start to where they are from the beginning to where they are today, and it's just a beautiful museum. So if you haven't had a chance to go see it, please do. It's just another great opportunity for you to learn about the culture here in the Coachella Valley. And then I was able to attend a few Veterans Day events, including the City of La Quinta, the George Patton Museum, and Palm Springs. And it's one thing I would like to bring up, and you know, it's the largest city in the Coachella Valley. We don't have a Memorial Day, we don't have a Veterans Day, and we don't have a 4th of July. I'd like to see us take advantage of our status and try and bring one of them and do one really good event or two of the events. Obviously, there's a lot of them across the valley, so you don't want to crisscross over because it's difficult to get it. But we have a lot of veterans here, and we have a lot of community service individuals that would like to be a part of this, and our community like to be a part of it. And I think we need to lead and have one of these holidays. And I know it's work for our staff, but at the same time, you know, we're here to service our residents. And I think our veterans and our community deserve one of these holidays to be celebrated here in the city of Indio instead of all the other cities. So I'd like to see if we can, maybe can do that. And then one of the last things is the banner flags, and great to see the military banner flags up for those of you that are veterans or have family members that served in the armed forces. We have a banner program here in the city of Indio. We need to, I think, add space for us. I know we don't have anybody here, but also National Guard. You know, a lot of our service members here were in between some of the military conflicts like Korea or Vietnam, and we're in the National Guard for many years. So a lot of our service members and residents served, but maybe weren't in the armed services where they went abroad, but served our country, served our state, and I think we should add those flags to it so that anybody that's actually served our city and our country is celebrated. So that's it. Mayor Pro Tem, thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Mayor Ortiz, would you like to give a report this evening?
Sure, thank you. Recently, I had a trip to Atlanta where I was invited by the Riverside University Health System to participate in a workshop with other mayors and public health officials from all over the world. They wanted to hear about different equity issues in our communities, and I gave an example of how our communication has been getting better with social media and translation and consistent communication, and how this helps us provide more equal services to our residents, to our businesses, and allows for better response during emergency situations. I also want to thank everyone that came out for our State of the City, and thank our staff, as well as Chamber of Commerce and Fantasy Springs Casino for a great event. We were able to share some of the growth and progress that has been happening here in the city of Indio, as well as share some new projects coming in the near future. Staff did a great job with the videos and the presentation, so I do want to thank them for everything they did to produce this great event for us. For Veterans Day, I had the opportunity to join our local American Legion, first at the Coachella Valley Cemetery ceremony, and then at their potluck here at the American Legion in the Sungold neighborhood. We had a great day recognizing the sacrifices that our veterans have made and celebrating the hard work that they continue to do in our community. This week, I also heard about our ZT baseball Coachella team that has a few of our youth in their 12 and under team. They're currently fundraising for their year and their trip to Cooperstown tournament in New York. So please donate if you can, and we wish them the best of luck on their season and at the Cooperstown tournament. And that's all I have for today. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor, for your report. I have no committees that were in session these past couple of weeks. I just want to invite everyone to join us at the Festival of Lights at the Polo Grounds. They kick off the event tomorrow night, but you can visit the Polo Grounds any night between tomorrow, I think, and New Year's. Drive through and take a look at the beautiful lights that they have set up there for the community to enjoy. So that would conclude my report. We'll move on to item number 9, appointments. This evening, we have an appointment of Reynaldo Jimenez to the Sustainability Commission, which he was nominated by myself. And I would like to ask Mr. Jimenez to come to the podium and let us know a little bit about him and what he sees, how he sees he can be a part of the Sustainability Commission.
Good evening. Want to thank everybody for the appointment and looking forward to working on the commission. I'm local resident here since 1998. I recently retired from the city of Coachella after putting in 40 years as a superintendent of sanitation. I'm looking to give back to the community and to help out. I think I will be a valuable asset on the Sustainability Commission because I worked in water reclamation. So it's kind of in my wheelhouse. Again, I'm looking forward to working with the commission and trying to work hard. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for your service, Mr. Jimenez. So,
Make a motion?
yes, please.
I'll make that motion.
Thank
Want
you.
to see Jimenez?
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Councilmember Miller and a second by Councilmember Holmes.
And
Is
then
there-
we'll do roll call. since
Yes, roll
Mayor
call. Is there any further discussion? We'll have a roll call vote.
Councilmember Furman,
Aye.
Councilmember Holmes,
Aye.
Councilmember Miller, Mayor Pro Tem Ramos Amit,
Aye.
and Mayor Ortiz.
Aye.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Jimenez. I'm sure you'll be getting lots of information on the next meeting, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you for being here this evening. Okay, it's that time of the evening where the Youth Council decides whether they're going to go home or they want to stay, but I heard you want to go home.
Tell them why.
No? What do you guys say? Yes or no? Home? Yes, okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here. We know you have other things to do. Congratulations on all the hard work you're doing. We appreciate it. All right, moving on to the consent calendar. I'm just going to make a note that on item 1110, I descended on the initial action, so I will note my dissension if anyone wants to move consent or if there's any request to pull items.
If not, I'll make a motion to move consent.
I'll second that.
And with the exception of Mayor Pro Tem, is it 1110?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion by Councilmember Furman, a second by Councilmember Miller with the noted dissension on 1110. Is there any further discussion?
Yes, Mayor, I also had a dissension on 11.10, so.
All right, noting the two dissensions on 1110. Any other discussion? If not, we'll take a roll call vote.
Councilmember Furman.
Aye.
Councilmember Holmes.
Aye, except for 11.10.
Councilmember Miller. Aye. Mayor Pro Tem Ramos Amit.
Aye, except for 1110.
And Mayor Ortiz.
Aye.
Motion passes with the noted dissensions on 1110. Moving on to administrative items. Item 12.1, IEFA Resolution 2023-03, approving the form and authorities, the execution of an official statement and continuing disclosure agreement relating to the issuance of electric revenue bonds and approving additional actions related thereto. Mr. Montgomery.
Thank you. You, for this item, are acting as the board members of the Indio Electric Finance Authority, and we present to you a resolution, as will be explained by Mr. Bryan Forbath. You've met Mr. Forbath before as bond counsel, has assisted us on other matters, and has a brief presentation, but staff does recommend approval.
Good evening, Mayor Meath, Mayor Pro Tem Meath, and council members. Bryan Forbath is traveling. I just think it's kind of fitting tonight that we might actually be moving forward with two substation banks at Dr. Carreon's substation at that he got his proclamation, so it's very fitting. But so I'm sorry, I'm trying to move this thing forward. So just a little bit of history about where we've come from. I know out of a lot of great perseverance by your city manager and staff and council members, we've come a long way on this project in terms of trying to finance substations here in the city of Indio. Back in June of this year, the City Council of Indio and Imperial Irrigation District both authorized the formation of the IEFA. Fast forward about a month. In July of this year, the city council meeting as the board of the IEFA approved the adoption of a surcharge of about a half a penny per kilowatt hour on all power sold in the city of Indio to pay for certain upgrades to substations and other improvements in the city of Indio. Back in September of this year, this board adopted a resolution authorizing the issuance of bonds to finance those substations and certain related documents. In October, we met with the rating agencies. We met with Moody's Investors Services and received a very good result for a brand new novice credit like this one, where Moody's represented A1, which is the highest in their A category, which would be equivalent of an A+ rating, which is equivalent to what the city's lease revenue bonds received on their rating. So very, very positive feedback all the way around. Moving forward, and just on Halloween, IID approved the project agreements that authorized the 4 different substations that we're talking about doing improvements at, and move that forward. And then on November 1st, the surcharge actually took effect and will be showing up on all the kilowatt usage that is used within the city. So we're here tonight as the final step in this process is approving an offering document for the bonds and a continuing disclosure agreement. Those documents have been attached with you, and the official statement essentially sets forth all the salient terms of the bonds that the underwriter will use to market and sell those bonds to the public. You know, and then our proposed time frame is this. Hopefully, assuming approval tonight, we would try to post our preliminary official statement either on the 20th or maybe the Monday after Thanksgiving, the 20th or 27th. We would be in the market to sell bonds on December 7th. And then on December 14th, we would close the bonds, and we would have estimated roughly $55 million of bond proceeds available to start funding these projects and to work with IID in moving these valuable projects forward for the city. I'm here tonight also. I'm part of the financing team. Is Ralph Holmes from Piper Jaffray. He is the city's the IFA's underwriter. And then also Jim Fabian, who is IEFA's municipal advisor, who was also, both these gentlemen were involved in the city's loss lease revenue bond financing. And with that, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. And again, I just like to say your city manager and you all did a fantastic job. This was a very difficult process in getting to where we were. IE, you know, they really did step up at the end for the city, and we were very cooperative in the process. There's still a few things we're working on with them, but hopefully we've gotten past everything there.
That is good news. Thank you, staff, and to the team for bringing this item forward. Do we have any questions of the presenter? We do not. Wonderful. Very comprehensive report. Then I'll
make a motion.
hold on. Mayor Ortiz, are you still there? Do you have any questions?
No questions.
Oh, okay. No questions.
I'll make a motion to adopt IEFA Resolution 2023-03 approving and form and authorizing the execution of an official statement and continuing disclosure agreement related to the issuance of electronic revenue bonds and approving additional actions related thereto.
And I'll second that motion.
Thank you both. We have a motion by Councilmember Miller, second by Councilmember Holmes. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we will take a roll call vote.
Board Member Furman.
Aye.
Board Member Holmes.
Aye.
Board Member Miller.
Aye.
And Vice Chair Ramos Amit.
Aye.
And Chair Ortiz.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you all. Great job, and thank you to IID if they're listening. Item 12.2, select the finalists for the Augmented Reality Component of the Desi Memorial Mural Project and authorize the city manager and city attorney to negotiate and finalize the term of the agreement for the total amount of $20,000 for 2 AR animations. Ms. Leila Nambar.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and members of the council. As you mentioned, this is the AR project for Desi's Memorial Mural. So the AR basically is animated images, similar to like what you see on the screen, but when you put your cell phone camera in a QR code, that comes to life. So we have two artists proposed for this project that was approved by the Arts Commission, recommended to the council for finalist approval. One is from ADJOURN. You can see the sample of this company's work. So again, it's animation. You put your camera there, and then the image comes to life. And with your camera, you can take images, you can take videos, and you can share it. This will be the first AR art and mural in the Coachella Valley, and I think it's first in probably up to, I don't know, maybe Redlands. So this is mural. This artist will basically animate the flowers. They will blossom. The eyes will blink, and also the background in the middle and frame 2, you can see the shape is changing. There will be some sound associated with it as well. Also, again, the butterflies, the hand, the blossoms, they're gonna move and come to life from the image. Their budget is $19,350 for 2 AR, which is one on the Smyrna Street, and the other one is facing the Jackson Street or Fargo, there's a small wall on the other side. So for both of them, they also will pay the first year hosting fee, which is $3,500. For the next years, if the city would like to go forward with it, we need to budget for that. This is the other artist creator up. They're also proposing to bring the image to life. I'm gonna ask the IT to play that for us because it takes us to another website. But these are the sample of their works. As you see, you take your cell phone and then the image in the background start moving. And then they have 3 versions that they are showing us they're capable of doing this type of work. So to respect the artist, I will try to show the entire video to the council. Then we probably, as you see, it comes out of the frame and goes back into the frame, so it's very interesting. And then they have another sample, which I think is on in the other slide, that if the IT can put that up. Thank you. So this is an ice cream, and then as soon as the camera comes in front of it and covers it, you can see the added elements to it, and it moves, and it's kind of like there's a bee there, so you can see the animation that can happen. And may I ask the IT to put the third animation? And this is a wine product. So as soon as you scan the QR code, again, it comes to life, and then it creates another layer to a fixed or 2D image. So, as I said, both artists are capable of delivering. This one, the price is a little bit higher, so it's $19,996. Their hosting is also a little bit higher per month, per year. But both of them are capable, and they meet the budget from the RFP, which was $20,000. So staff request, if the council accept to approve or select one of the finalists and authorize the city manager and the city attorney to finalize the contract. I'd be happy to answer if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Numbar. Did the Arts Commission have a preference?
They did not.
They did not. They're leaving it to us. Any questions?
I just, can you encapsulate the differences between the two?
So the first one actually pitched what they're gonna do. So they show us elements as what they're gonna do, so we can imagine. The second one did not show us what they can do with this specific mural, but they have done many of these type of work, so they're capable of. If you're gonna go with the price in one of them is a little bit higher, the other one is a little bit lower. The Arts Commission didn't choose anybody per se, but the artist is more comfortable to work with the first group, IJAC. But again, none of them, both of them are capable of delivering.
Mr. Miller?
Layla, on the fee that it comes up, it's $3,500. You said the other one's a little bit more. Is there any kind of limit on what they can charge or where it goes up? Is it a 5-year contract? Once we put the mural in, obviously, and put the extra graphics to have it pop out, I want to make sure that we're not, $3,500 the first year, $4,000 the next year, $5,000 the next year, $6,000. What is their contract on that.
Very good point. We can cap it. We can say don't go above 35. We won't be able to cover that.
Yeah, I just think we
cap
need to tie them down for a set period of time, maybe a 5 or 10 year contract,
Sure.
and then if they need to, because of influence of whatever it is, maybe the cost, they can raise it up a certain percentage, maybe off of CPI or something. But I just want to make sure we're not stuck with it, and all of a sudden we're $5,000 every year. So if we can, I like IJAC myself. I think it really popped out. I think you did a great job with it. So that would be my preference.
Go ahead, Councilmember Furman.
How you doing? Layla, where are these companies out of?
So both of them are in Southern California. So the IJAC, I think they're in LA County, and the other one, when we had the Arts Commission meeting, a representative was available here. So both of them are within reach, I should say.
Mayor Ortiz, do you have any questions?
No, I agree with Councilmember Miller on setting the cap for the price, and I like the IJAC as well. And if the artist prefers to work with that organization, then I think that's a good choice for me. Thanks.
Ms. Number, what is the life expectancy of the mural? Not the AR, the mural.
Yeah. So the mural, we have the life expectancy at 15 years. And then that means that every year we go and inspect it. If any UV coat on anti-graffiti coat needs to be applied, we apply that. If we leave it as is, it may not last, but the plan is to do a yearly maintenance.
Okay, I was just going to suggest that you tie whatever arrangement you make with the hosting to the life expectancy of the mural. I understand that it's prudent for both parties to have a little bit of an increase to make sure that we keep up with state-of-the-art technology. I just don't want it to get out of hand like everyone else has mentioned. So if you could have that conversation with whichever agency we end up going with, we would appreciate it.
Will
So
do.
if there are no further questions, I'll entertain a motion.
First, I'd like to make a motion to select IJAC for the augmented reality component of the Desi Memorial Mural Project, and authorize the city manager and city attorney to negotiate and finalize the terms of the agreement for the total amount of $20,000 for 2 AR animations.
And I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Miller and a second by Mayor Ortiz. So is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we will have a roll call vote.
Councilmember Furman.
Aye.
Councilmember Holmes.
Aye.
Councilmember Miller.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ramos Amit.
Aye.
And Mayor Ortiz.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Namvar, and thank you to the Arts Commission. I did forget to make an announcement earlier. We are moving item 13.1 up above item 12.4, just for the point of order, and that we have to consider these items, just for the public to know if anyone wanted to speak on item 13.1. We're going to be moving that up before 12.4. So at this time, we're going to start with 12.3, Resolution 10404, authorizing a one-year extension of Tentative Tract Map 37447 from November 15, 2023 to November 15, 2024 for Affresco West, comprised of approximately 43 acres within assessor parcel number 691150008 and 692010012, located northeast of Monroe Street and Avenue 40. Mr. Snyder.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Mayor and members of the City Council. Kevin Snyder, Director of Community Development. This evening, as the Mayor Pro Tem indicated, this is a request for consideration of an extension of a previous approval by the City Council. Before I start, I do want to note and thank that our newest member of the planning team, Audrey Nickerson, was a staff planner on this. She did a great job. I want to thank her for that. This evening, again, the project in question is called Affresco West. To orient the council and members of the public, this is at the intersection of Avenue 40 and Monroe Street. It's northeast of that. It's highlighted in yellow hatching on the map on the screen. And this is an area of the city that is not developed yet. This is a project that could potentially develop in this area. So image for you is a representation of the map layout as approved. This project originally went to Planning Commission and then ultimately came to City Council, and the City Council approved the tentative tract map. Subsequent to that, there was a request for an extension of the approval for that, and there was also action by the state. This happened and coincided with the COVID pandemic, where the state felt it was prudent to make modifications to state law to allow for extensions of map approvals. That was a time of uncertainty, and so on top of that, the city, and like every other municipality, followed in accordance. So again, previously there was an action to do the initial extension for 1 year. That extended it from November 15th, 2022 to November 15th, 2023, which is today. That action was taken in July of 2022. So Springland Corporation, which is the applicant, submitted to the planning department, the community development department in June of 2023. And they have been working over the last year to prepare themselves to move forward with the project. The applicant's representatives are in attendance virtually today, and they can answer any specific questions the council has. But as related to staff, they've been conducting marketing studies to determine the best residence types and development plan as it relates to the market conditions that we operate in today, with changes in mortgage rates and also changes in consumer preferences. And also they've been working with us on finalizing various technical issues as it relates to design and utility layout. So they do anticipate that over the next month they will be back before the city to record the map. And with that, staff is recommending that you consider the adoption of Resolution 10404 that would grant the 1 year extension from November 15th, 2023 to November 15th, 2024. Happy to answer any questions, and again, as I indicated, the applicant is available virtually to answer any questions the council might have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. Does anyone have any questions? Mayor Ortiz, do you have any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
All right, hearing no questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Thank you. I'd like to make a recommendation to approve resolution number 10404, authorizing a 1 year extension of tentative tract map number 37447 from November 15th, 2023 to November 15th, 2024 for Affresco West, case file number 2023-07-60, comprised of approximately 43 acres located northeast of Monroe Street and Avenue 40.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Holmes and a second by Councilmember Furman. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote.
Councilmember Furman.
Aye.
Councilmember Holmes.
Aye.
Councilmember Miller.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ramos Amit.
Aye.
And Mayor Ortiz.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Snyder. Congratulations to the owners of Affresco West. We look forward to that community developing. We are now going to move on to public hearing items. This is item 13.1, ordinance number 1795, amending section 156.134, which is the fees in lieu of dedication of Indio Municipal Code. Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, Mayor, members of the City Council. Again, Kevin Snyder, Director of Community Development. This evening, we wanted to ask Council for its consideration of changing some of our code language as it relates to parkland dedication. So the state of California has passed what's commonly referred to as the Quimby Act. And what this allows is municipalities like the City of Indio and other municipalities throughout the state of California can require through the subdivision process the dedication of parkland or the payment of in lieu fees. More often than not, we get payment of in lieu fees. So the Council in 2002 established our process for the dedication or payment of in lieu fees. That process is memorialized in the exhibit that's right below the text on this, and what you can see is it's a fairly complicated process to figure out how much those in lieu fees might cost us. And it also involves the preparation of a appraisal by a qualified appraiser. So in addition to costs that they've already incurred with the city, when it comes time to pay these fees, which is at the time of building permit issuance, our current practice is they would have to provide an appraisal report that we would review and either agree or disagree with. The other challenge is that that complicated formula that you see there has been interpreted differently throughout the years. So when I look back at the various fee calculations that have occurred, it somewhat depends on who's reviewing and making that determination. All to say that our process has proven to be a little bit cumbersome and a little bit complicated. And recently, with the uptick in residential activity in the city, we've been getting more inquiries, and the common refrain we get is, I don't understand this. And I have to be honest, I'm not sure I understand it sometimes. So what we've identified is that there is an opportunity to amend current code language that is supported by action the council took recently or previously as it relates to our development impact fees. And that's the next item on the agenda. But just to very quickly summarize, when you adopted the new development impact fees for the city based on the development impact fee study that was conducted by our consultant, in that study, there was an opportunity to look at the calculation of Quimby fees differently. It's called standardized Quimby fees. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But the ordinance in front of you would allow the opportunity to look at this standardized approach. Right now, we don't have the opportunity to look at the standardized approach. So working with the city attorney, we determined that the proposed language that you see in front of you could be adopted by the city council. And it would provide the opportunity to have a standardized approach. When we talked to the Desert Valley Builders Association about this, they gave an excellent recommendation, which said, well, you might want to still preserve that opportunity for someone to do a study and come up with an alternate fee. We said, that makes sense. And so in the language, we do have that opportunity. And if there's a 10% or less differentiation between what our fee is and what they're proposing, we would just accept that. We wouldn't get into a back and forth with them. We thought that was a reasonable approach. So that language is also written into the proposed code language. So this evening, staff, and just quickly to summarize the benefits, again, here's this very complicated table, and to the right of that is the proposed fee, and it's very simplified. It's a table in that development impact fee study that I mentioned. We believe it's a simplified process. We believe it will be more consistent administration on the part of staff, more certainty in fee collections for the city, and then again, that developer flexibility that was based on input from the Desert Valley Builders Association. So staff is recommending, following the conduct of the public hearing, that the council consider the potential adoption of ordinance number 1795, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions of staff on this item? Mr. Miller?
You said that the DVBA was fine with the language, and they're fine with the fee and how it's set up too. They were pretty much open to it.
Yes, they were. They thought it made sense too. When I went through that formula with them, they scratched their heads, just like most do. I think, but they wanted the city to retain the developer to have the option to do their own study. But they were fine with.
But they were fine with the fee and
Yes.
the fee amount. Okay.
Yes, they were.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Mayor Ortiz, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Hearing none, I'll open the public hearing for any members of the audience who wish to address the body on this item. I have no requests before me, and I see no one stepping forward. I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
I'll go ahead and do that. I'd like to make a motion to waive full reading of ordinance number 1795, introduce the ordinance by title only, and request the city clerk to read the title of said ordinance.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Holmes and a second by Councilmember Furman. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote.
Councilmember Furman.
Aye.
Councilmember Holmes.
Aye.
Councilmember Miller. Aye. Mayor Pro Tem Ramos Amit.
Aye.
And Mayor Ortiz.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. City Clerk will read the title.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Indio, California, amending Section 156.134, fees in lieu of dedication of the Indio Municipal Code, and determining this action is exempt from environmental review pursuant to Section 15061B3 of Title 14 of the California Code of Regulations. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, City Clerk, and thank you, Mr. Snyder, for this item. Next item, we're going to move back up to administrative items. Item 12.4, Resolution Number 10377, establishing standardized Quimby Act parkland acquisition in lieu fees. Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Mayor, members of the City Council, again, Kevin Snyder, Director of Community Development. I'm going to be very brief because you've already heard my spiel that really covers a lot of what's in this presentation, but I did want to note 2 points. One, the fees that are being considered were based on the development impact fee study that I mentioned earlier. That it's specifically table 3.4 of that study. That was based on the city's capital improvement program, so it's based on a per capita cost, and it's based on city population. So the analysis that was done by our development impact fee consultant did take into account both the capital improvement needs of the city relative to our current and future population. So I wanted to note that. And then I also wanted to just remind the council that we're going from a very complicated process to a very straightforward process. In the development community, they like certainty. This will provide certainty, and it will also make it very easy for staff to provide the information to them and avoid them having to pay extra money to get an appraisal unless they choose to, based on the previous action the council's taken. So with that, staff is recommending you adopt Resolution 10377, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Mr. Snyder, how do we fare with that rate compared to the other cities?
We actually fare very well. We're very competitive, and I think that was something that when I was looking at this, I talked to our consultant, and they had actually done that analysis. So we compare very competitively, I guess is the best way to say it.
Thank you, Mr. Snyder. Any other questions? Mayor Ortiz, any questions?
No questions.
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
All move to make a motion to adopt resolution number 10377, establishing standardized Quimby Act parkland acquisition in lieu of fees pursuant to the development impact fee study dated October 15, 2021, adopted by the City Council on November 17, 2021, and determining this action is exempt from environmental review pursuant to section 15061 B3 of Title 14 of California Code of Regulations.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Furman and a second by Councilmember Miller. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote.
Councilmember Furman.
Aye.
Councilmember Holmes.
Aye.
Councilmember Miller.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ramos Amit.
Aye.
And Mayor Ortiz.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Snyder. That concludes our business meeting for the evening. We will move on to item number 14, which is public comments for items not on the agenda. I have a request by Mr. Juvenal Gonzalez. If you'd like to step up to the podium.
Good evening, Council. I actually prepared a speech for today, you know. Just want to say thank you for joining us this last week at the City Council. At the State of the City for the City of Indio is very pleasant, I think, and I hope it was definitely pleasant for you guys, concise and to your expectations. I chair the City of Indio, so we're very involved with what we're kind of going on with the business community and trying to support them in different aspects. And one of the aspects that we're doing is you will be seeing a little bit more participation from the City of Indio Chamber at the meetings here at Council. We've committed to start coming regularly, not just myself, but everyone else that sits on the board, to show a little bit more support with what we've got going on in the City of Indio. We'll be starting a local, we'll start to work with startup businesses and existing businesses to help them understand the processes before they get to the city, to kind of expedite things and give them a little bit more of a background on how things are ran or what we do, essentially supporting even the council, planning commission, any committees that are available that anyone can get involved with, or even Kevin with the planning commission as well. I would like to invite you all to our next board meeting, which will be December 8th at 8:30 a.m. at the Chamber of Commerce building right next to here. We'd like to have any updates from you guys, any questions that you may have, any requests, any support that you may need. At that point, it would be appropriate time to request that, and these individuals are very eager to support you in your endeavors, as well as supporting the business community in the City of Indio. The last thing is, I would like to bring it to your attention that we will be hosting a Indio mixer at one of the buildings down here in downtown on March 27th. Off of Flower Street. So please mark your calendars. We hope to see you guys all there and supporting our local business community as we grow together.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your cooperation with the state of the city and the support that you've given us. We appreciate your presence.
Thank you.
If I can just ask a quick question on the December 8th meeting that's at the chamber offices?
It is.
Okay, that would conclude our meeting for this
Thank you.
evening. We're going to adjourn until our next meeting, which happens to be St. Nicholas Day. And if anybody knows why I like St. Nicholas Day, it's because it's my birthday. And it's also going to be the day that I'm going to be installed as mayor. So we're going to have a short meeting. Just like tonight, right? We stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.